Hello guys, there is a exam AP EAPCET in coming 19th. So we are going to discuss most important topics, the relevant questions about the topic. So this is the zoology subject. I am going to give you the simple analytical way where you have to focus in coming days. Okay? Yes, if come to the most important topics and MCQs, animal diversity. Of course, animal diversity is the biggest chapter and most important, it is for exam. Okay, if come to the animal diversity, this is animal kingdom. Animal diversity nothing but animal kingdom. In the animal kingdom, mostly the phyla, their characters, and they are chordates and non-chordates with examples. This is the most important. You have to focus on examples. Examples and special characters. Special characters means special features about relevant phyla. There are different kind of phyla from the porifera, cylinderates and platyhelminthes, aschelminthes, annelids, arthropods, molluscans, echinoderms and chordates. Each and every phyla there are different kind of features. If come to this porifera, there is a sponges, there is a cellular level, the organization, which is cnidarians or tissue level, and if come to the platyhelminthes, there is a organ level, and if come to the aschelminthes, organ system level where the digestive system started. If come to the annelids, there is a coelom level. Aschelminthes, there is a pseudocoelomates, and if come to the annelids, coelom activity is there. There is a circulatory system, reproductive system, the systems are developed and segmentation also developed from the annelids. So guys, there is a different features in different phyla. So if come to this example, which one of the following is non-chordate? Very simple question they came previous, that is answer is hydra. Just look into this, Amphioxus is the chordate, and like shark is, frog is chordates. Okay, there is what is the difference between chordate and non-chordate? So they can ask you the general features of chordates, like frog, there is a differentiation between the frog and these non-chordates. Like frog has special features, like heart is developed the dorsally and ventrally. If come to the non-chordates, there is a organs are ventrally developed, sorry, dorsally developed. If come to the chordates, the organs are ventrally developed. So where nervous system is started, where circulatory system started, where digestive system started, in which phyla? They can ask you the different features, coelom and segmentation and germ layers and reproductive system and digestive system, excretory system, where they can develop, they can ask you the special features in each phyla. So animal kingdom is the most important and biggest chapter, and they can ask you examples and match the following questions. Mostly they can ask you match the following questions. Match the following questions with examples. So if come to the animal kingdom, you have to refer the questions these coming days, coming 3 days, match the following questions you have to refer. Okay, you have to refer it, most important. And the next question, which phylum has joined as appendages? Guys, here arthropoda. Arthropoda main feature is what? Okay, exoskeleton. Exoskeleton. Appendages mean there is like sensor, there is mouth parts, they have like getting sensor which is thermoregulators, thermosensor, thermoreceptors we can call. There is a appendages in the arthropoda are thermoreceptors. So guys, here mollusca they do not have appendages, annelids they do not have, arthropoda have appendages, and echinoids also do not have. So exoskeleton is what? There are sternum, this is the tergum, this is the sternum, and side wala though is pleura. These tergum, sternum and pleura connected by a layer, this connected by a layer called arthrovian layer. This is all over we can call, together we can call exoskeleton. This is what the special character of the arthropoda. Exoskeleton is the special character. These are the scleroids plates. Plates they can use for the flight. Because of this scleroid plates, arthrovian membrane, because of this exoskeleton, the arthropoda insecta is the largest species. Insecta is the largest species. In the earth, the insecta population is developed in the earth because of these scleroids, because of this exoskeleton system. Such a special features they can ask you in the exam. You have to focus on special features. Yeah. If come to the cell structure and biomolecules, this is also important topic. You have to focus the organelles, cell organelles and biomolecules like carbohydrates, proteins and minerals like vitamins. You have to focus the enzyme also, enzymes. So, you have to focus mainly cell organelles, biomolecules and enzymes. Okay, carbohydrate, proteins and enzymes, you have to focus their structure. Okay, this is important. Yeah, one question, the cell organelle is known as powerhouse of the cell, which is mitochondria. Obviously, they can generate ATP, powerhouse. Okay, this kind of questions they can ask you in the cell organelle. One enzyme question, what is pepsin? Pepsin, actin, of course, pepsin can activate in the stomach for the use of the digestion of proteins. Proteins in the stomach. Digestion of protein in the small intestine is the trypsin. Trypsin is protein digestion in the small intestine. Pepsin is in the stomach, which is pepsinogen. They are released in the stomach in the form of pepsinogen. When HCl release, pepsinogen converted into the pepsin. Always pepsinogen is inactive mode. When we eat the food, then only HCl release to activate pepsinogen into the pepsin. Okay? This is what about the biomolecule and cell structure and enzymes. This is not a digestive system. If you come to this question, this is the enzymatic question. Enzyme, the chapter biomolecule. Okay? Yes. If you come to the next one, human physiology. This is the topic is highly productive, high productive. Questions are more in this. Yeah, there are digestive system, respiratory system, circulatory system, excretory system, nervous system, reproductive system, locomotion and movement. So, these are the human physiology questions. This is the highly productive chapter. You must focus on this chapter. Okay? Yes. If come to this digestive system, respiratory system, gases and if come to the digestive system, mainly focus on enzymes. If come to the digestive system, mainly focus on enzymes. If come to the respiratory system, gases, respiratory volumes, gases, transport like carbon dioxide transport, oxygen transport and respiratory disorders. These questions they can ask you. If they come to the circulatory system, the blood composition, function of heart, in the function of heart they can ask you the circulatory system, the blood volumes, okay, and like disorders, ECG, these questions they can ask you. Yeah, one question, bile helps in digestion of course, fats, bile, enzymes like if come to the carbohydrates, first they started digestion in the mouth with the help of the enzyme called amylase, we can call it as ptyalin. If come to the proteins, protein digestion is started in the stomach with the help of enzymes, the enzymes pepsin like with the help of HCl. HCl can activate the enzymes in the stomach for the protein digestion. If come to the fats of course there is a carbon chain, carbon hydrogen chain, it is a huge, a long chain. If come to the fats mean polyhydrogen acids, like it is a poly, mean there is a chain is bigger. The chain should be break down with the help of the bile. So, that is the breakdown of chain with the help of bile we can call emulsification of the fats. So, fats can be digested through the bile itself. Protein can be digested in the stomach with the help of HCl. This is the scenario guys, you have to remember, and this is the answer here, fats, very simple. Okay? Yes. Next in the physiology topic, which is like normal heart rate. These are the few questions I can give you. Normal heart rate is human. Yeah, obviously you know 70 to 80 BPM. Yeah, and oxygen transport. This is the respiratory system. Mainly oxygen transported by the RBCs. RBCs have hemoglobin. Hemoglobin has 4 chains, alpha and beta chain. 4 chains. These are alpha, these are beta. The oxygen transported is head part. Head part, they can carries oxygen. Tail part, tail carries like carbon dioxide. This is the globin part, head. Sorry, tail part is the globin chain. Tail is globin protein that can carry CO2. Head part is the heme part. heme part that can carry oxygen. Tail part is the globin chain that can carry carbon dioxide. So guys, they can ask you the transport of oxygen or carbon dioxide in the chapter if come to the respiratory system. Yes, next. Yeah, nervous and endocrine system, they are interrelated actually, nervous system and endocrine system. Nervous system can control any system in the body, either it is reproductive system, locomotion and respiratory and circulatory, digestive system, every system is controlled under the nervous system. Okay? Yeah, important concept in the nervous system is neuron structure. Of course, there are unipolar neuron, multipolar neuron, okay, unipolar, multipolar, bipolar, pseudo unipolar. So these kind of neurons are there, neuron structure, and brain parts. This is the most important. Brain parts, forebrain, midbrain, hindbrain, and their functions, most important. Okay, if come to the nervous system, brain part is the most important. Endocrine system also most important. They can ask you the names of the hormone. Which gland secretes insulin? Of course, pancreas can secrete insulin. Pancreas is the mixed gland, which can produce enzymes and hormones. So pancreas, they can produce enzymes and hormones. Okay, this is about pancreas, and they can ask you the importance of the hormones, mostly growth hormones like thyroid hormone, like pituitary gland hormones, and anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary. Anterior pituitary and posterior pituitary, this is adenohypophysis and neurohypophysis. Adenohypophysis, they can directly produce and release the hormones, which is growth hormone, ACTH, FSH, LH, and TSH, thyroid stimulating hormone. So if come to the neurohypophysis, which is like anterior pituitary and this is the posterior pituitary, they can store the hormones and release the hormones from the hypothalamus. They can take the hormones and store it in the posterior pituitary and release the hormone. That is the release hormones are like ADH, oxytocin, this kind of hormones is posterior pituitary, they can release. Pituitary is the most important if come to the hormones. Second importance is thalamus, and third important is thyroid and parathyroid. These four hormones are the most important if come to the endocrine system. Okay, you have to focus these hormones and their functions. Yes. Yeah, and another question if come to this. Yeah, here just look into this. The functions of nervous system is, of course, functional unit is nervous is neuron, obviously you know, very simple question. Sometimes they can ask you the simple questions from chapters, some chapters they want give you simple questions, this time is nervous system, they ask simple question. Yeah, if come to the genetics and the reproduction, this is the difficulty chapter, and you have to mainly focus, there is the must questions coming from this chapter. Yeah, if come to the important concept in the chapter, Mendel laws and inheritance and reproduction. If come to the reproductive system, male reproductive system and female reproductive system is most important for this. And if come to the genetic, genotypic ratio of monohybrid is, of course 1:1 is the monohybrid, dihybrid is there. The ratio, genotypic ratio or phenotypic ratio, they can ask you monohybrid and dihybrid. Genetics is the most important topic, and it is thoda difficulty chapter, you have to focus it, what is genotype and phenotype, the ratios, dihybrid, monohybrid, and laws, Mendelian laws and all. If come to the like reproduction, XY sex determination. Sex determination is also genetics. XY is obviously human, XX is male, XX is female and XY is male. Obviously, it is about heterozygous male in the human. Yeah. If come to the next chapter, human health and disease, this is the easy chapter and important productive chapter. Easy and productive chapter. They can ask you most of the questions from this topic. Okay? Yes. What are this? Yeah, immunity is the most important, thoda hard, and diseases like HIV, TB, and vaccines also important. If come to the immunity, they can ask you acquired immunity, innate immunity, and immunoglobulins like antibodies, antigens, and HIV, cancer, and vaccines also important. Okay, guys, you have to focus this. Okay, diseases names and immunity and vaccines. Yeah, HIV is caused by AIDS. AIDS is caused by, of course, virus. Okay, virus. The answer is B. They cannot ask you this much of simple questions. I did give you the examples relevant to the topic. Okay, yes. If come to the which of the following is vaccine is preventable disease. So one is virus, they can ask you causes, and one is vaccine, they can ask you. Yeah, which is vaccine preventable diseases. So guys, just here, just look into this. Cancer can kill the vaccine prevent. HIV is not. Tuberculosis is, and diabetes. Which one is? Yeah, tuberculosis is the vaccine. There is a medicine is there for the tuberculosis. Cancer, there is a therapy, chemotherapy, okay, and there is a radiotherapy. Therapies is there in the cancer. HIV is, there is no vaccine. Diabetes also non-communicable disease. Tuberculosis only communicable disease. TB is communicable disease. HIV also communicable, but there is no vaccine still now. Okay, TB is there is a vaccine for the TB. So health and diseases is the most important topic, highly productive. You have to focus the diseases names, and there is a bacteria, virus, their names like causes and vaccine type and medicine type. Okay, they can ask you. Yes. If come to the next chapter, ecology and environment. This is also easy topic and productive. Easy topic and productive. So ecology, food chains is the most important focused areas, food chains, decomposition, greenhouse effect. If come to the environment. Environment most important, environment pollutions and environment causes like what is greenhouse, what is global warming, what is ozone, these kind of questions they can ask you. Yeah, if come to the ecology, organisms, populations and food chains, okay, organism that break down dead matter is, who break down? Decomposers of course, obviously decomposers like bacteria, they can decompose the material which is no oxygenated. Okay. If come to the greenhouse gases, of course, this is most important pollution chapter, pollutants most important topic, pollutants are the most important concept. Okay. Yes, CO2 and CH4 is the greenhouse gases, it is the most important question. Guys, ecology and environment is the highly productive and important, very easy. You have to quick revision for this topic. Okay, I hope you guys understand. Yeah, this is all over the topics. I did give you my best, my level of best about these topics. Okay, so you have to focus the last hours for this exam. The key areas, where are the key areas, just you have to revise it. Thank you.